So Paolo, where is our oh, here he is. Good. Okay.
Sorry, guys, I won't be signing up for grammarian until I get this a little bit better.
Not to worry, it's always learning experience.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Try
my internet
again.
connection is not so good here either.
Video
Oh,
file.
That's what we have. All right.
Morning, Scott.
Morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good
And
morning.
it is
Morning.
now 7 a.m., which means that it is time for our Earlybird Toastmasters meeting. I am Randolph, your Sergeant at Arms, and the mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive, positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As we continue to meet by Zoom, we ask that you practice good Zoom etiquette by keeping yourself muted unless you're an active speaker. And we encourage you to use the chat feature to send a message to everyone or a private message of feedback to the speaker. And now it is my honor to present to you our presiding officer, Toastmaster Paolo Barone.
Buongiorno! Good morning, my fellow Earlybird Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Here we are again. Where? Come on, I want to see those hands. Where we? Yes! At the peak of the week, Thursday morning, the best Toastmasters Club in the entire planet. Absolutely 100%. Are you ready for another amazing weekend? Yeah, another amazing meeting. I am. I look forward to the art of improvisation, which today is the theme of the meeting. Improvise, an amazing tool to have in your toolbox, the capacity to say something, anything, anytime, any moment. That's a valuable skill to have. All right, sometime, to me, often it can get you out of trouble to be able to say something anytime, anywhere. All right, let's start as always with an invocation. Today, by our valuable, amazing Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Randolph Bastine.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. President, and all Toastmasters and any most welcome guests. Today, our invocation will come from The Alchemist, and it is where the boy Santiago is talking to the alchemist about the fears in his heart. And he says, "Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes on search of its dreams, because every second of the search is a second encounter with God and with eternity." And now if we may all put our hands on our heart and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. That was a great invocation. And I'm going to watch the recording because I want to write down every single word that you said, because I loved it, but it was too long to remember. So I'm going to watch, write it down, and use it in the future in my speeches. I love it. Thank you very much. Joke Master. I don't see a joke master in my agenda, but I'm sure we have someone today volunteering as a joke master. Do we have one? Raise your hand. Joke, of course. Who else? Who else? Yeah. The master of all masters, the joke master of the day, Toastmaster leader Richmond, all the way from Pennsylvania.
Yes, yes, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I am improvising today with just some one-liners. I'd kill for a Nobel.
Toastmaster Richmond, we lost you. Hello, hello, hello. Are you still with us? I love your smile, but please
90,
come
not-
back to us. We lost it, please.
Oh, am I back?
Yes.
Start over.
Okay,
Start-
okay. 99% of lawyers give the rest of them a bad name. A conscience is what hurts when all your other parts feel so good. And a clear conscience is usually the sign of a bad memory. Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilsen. Thank you. Oh, I see here the word of the day, I believe. Chimera. Toastmaster Anna Ilsen, the grammarian of the day. Would you please elaborate further on the word of the day?
The word of the day is chimera. Noun, an illusion, improbable. For example, Walter Mitty's life was a series of chimeras. The fantastic daydreams in which he starred were completely real to him. Chimera. Thank you.
Thank you, Madame Grammarian. We have the same word in Italian, spells the same way, but we pronounce chimera, but it spells exactly the same. Okay, thank you very much. Let's try to use the word chimera in our self-introduction or anytime we have the opportunity to speak. Let's remember that. And let's move to the self-introduction. Let's bring back our Sergeant at Arms. We start with him, Toastmaster Bastin. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning and good morning to all Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I am Randolph Bastine, your Sergeant at Arms in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I am excited to be a part of the improvisation this morning. That seems like that's going to be pretty fun. And chimera, I didn't get to see the full meeting, so I guess that's going to be it for me. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. And let's move to our DTMs. Yes, because we have 3 DTMs. That's an amazing thing. Now, Cleb, starting with Toastmaster Berkeley. DTM Berkeley, please.
Yes, and the word of the day, chimera, what a wonderful word. When we're going to do improv, we will be creating all kinds of strange situations that are very entertaining. Otherwise, life is good. I'm sitting here hoping my morning coffee shows up, but I'm not sure. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Berkeley. And let's hear now from DTM Day, Mary Helen Day, please.
Oh, Mr. President, how do we use chimera in a sentence? But I love the word because it is elegant, poetic, and I will find a use for it in the next poem I write. My name is Mary Helen Day. Mr. President.
Thank you, DTM Day. And let's hear now from Jim Day, DTM Jim Day, please.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, Mr. President. What I have begun to realize, my growing thoughts every day become more and more rated as chimera as I age. Mr. President.
Thank you. Toastmaster Gold, are they treating you well at my pizzeria?
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I am Toastmaster Jim Gould, and my whole life is a chimera. It is, I believe I'm living Walter Mitty life because so much cool stuff goes on with me. I will be your general evaluator today, and I'm really happy to be here at the peak of the week. But, you know, for me, it is Buonasera, not buongiorno.
How is the Barone pizza? Toastmaster Gold, tell us, how is the Barone pizza?
Oh man, the Barone pizza has got to be the best in all of Italy.
Where are you? Where is the place? Where is the Barone Pizzeria?
That was in Rome. We are not in Rome right now. We left there last week and we are in Castiglione Fiorentino. It's an Etruscan castle village built on a hill. It's amazing. And if anybody's interested in seeing, we have pictures. I'll put the link in the chat later on.
Yes, please, definitely. And enjoy your stay in Italy. All right. Toastmaster Tom Quinn. I like the name. It sounds like an actor, like John Wayne. After John Wayne, Tom Quinn. Yeah, by the way.
An actor indeed. What can I tell you? Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, my name is Tom Queen.
I love it.
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm enjoying the company of all of you. And it's a chimera that I have on my little tablet to see each and every one of your happy faces. I hope in reality that it is that way as well, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Queen. And let's hear now from Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire.
Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. Most welcome. Yes, I am Pam Scrimshire and I live in Windermere, Florida. And I live with, I sleep with, I eat with, I hold close the chimera that I will have my garden finished by December of this year. Now, I slept with that chimera last year too, and the previous year, but who knows? Mr. Presiding Officer.
All right, now let's hear from the Toastmaster that pretty soon is gonna tell us the good, the bad, and the ugly of my speech. Toastmaster Scott May.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. I'm Scott May. And when that Thursday morning alarm goes off, oh, it just feels so good.
Oh.
I just know that it's what my body needs. Oh, wait, no, that's a chimera. No, it will never feel that way. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster May. And let's bring back to the stage Toastmaster Richmond. Share with us a few more words, please.
Mr. President, fellow Toast. Apparently, my life is living here in paradise, I think, but you can all tell the challenges are overwhelming. Tom Quinn, your dream may come true. I can see Florida in my future. Back to you. Alita Richmond from Pennsylvania.
All right, lady from Pennsylvania, pretty soon from Florida. All right. And now let's bring back to the stage our grandmother of the day, Toastmaster Anna Ilsen.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I'm Anna Ilsen, Innovative Planner Level 3, Engaging Humor Level 3. To think that we're going to ever find an honest politician is becoming more and more of a chimera.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilsen. And let's hear now from our welcome guest, our repeat guest, always welcome, Val Gray. Gray or Gray? I'm sorry, Gray.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. President, Toastmasters. I'm Val Cray from Macon, Georgia, and Chimera. A memory is really a chimera. It's part real and it's part dream. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for using the word of the day. And we are so glad to see you back. And you are in Georgia? Wow, we're so happy to see you. Thanks for coming back. And yes, my turn. And my name is Paolo Barone, the presiding officer of this amazing club, Earlybird Toastmasters, coming to you here from Miami, one more time next week from Miami, and then I'm going to join Toastmaster Gold in Italy at my pizzeria in 2 weeks. See you there, Toastmaster Gold. Are you still there? When are you coming back? When are you coming back?
We'll be coming back at the 2nd of June, so we'll probably just miss you.
Ah, all right. Let's get this party going. Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Kip Barkley, who is going to guide us through this beautiful adventure, the art of improvisation. Let's welcome to the virtual stage with a gigantic round of applause, DTM Kip Barkley. The stage is yours, DTM Barkley.
Why, thank you, but the Toastmaster is Mary Helen Day.
Oh, Toastmaster Mary Ellen Day. Wow, my apologies, DTM Day. I picked the wrong DTM. All right, let me redo it. Let's welcome to the virtual stage with a huge round of applause, DTM Day, the Toastmaster of the day. The stage is yours, DTM Day. What? She's gone.
She pushed the wrong button.
Okay. Yes. Distinguished Toastmaster Day, but we lost both Jim Day and Mary Ellen Day. We lost them both. All right.
She's coming back in now.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. Yes, here we are. All right. Welcome back, DTM Day. All right.
Whoa, yes, thank you. We had a brief interruption in power. So, hey, we're with you, Alita. We really are here.
It actually happened where I'm at as well. That's weird.
Did it? Really?
Yeah, I guess this was a Fort Lauderdale thing. You're in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. It
Near
happened
the executive airport. That's where we're at.
Oh, that's where our office is. So okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. So listen, I know that some of you here have lapses of memory on occasion. So I'm going to remind you what a Toastmaster meeting is all about. We have 3 parts. First, we have our table topics. Usually today is going to be an exception to that. And the table topics is when we get the experience of speaking extemporaneously on our feet. We get to be exciting speakers right there. Second part of our meeting is our formal speeches, where we have Toastmasters that have prepared something to talk about that we are interested in listening to. And then after that, we have evaluations of those speeches, where our Toastmasters really get the opportunity to be felt that they are heard. So it is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to increase their communication skills. Now, leadership, this is what this is all about. I'm Toastmaster of the meeting. Paolo is president. And eventually you will see that there are roles that you can fulfill within Toastmasters to become a more powerful leader. But just let's get the show on the road. And we have helpers. This meeting cannot be on its own. No, 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 no. We have helpers, and our first helper of the morning is our accounting. Our counter, Scott May, please explain what this is all about.
Yes, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The counter is responsible for noting the speaker's verbal pauses, things like you know, like, etc. Sometimes if someone like Jim Gould is on, you might hear a ding. If he's not on, you won't hear a ding. And since we're on Zoom, you will not be levied a fine. Madam, Toastmaster.
Okay. And our second helper of the morning is our grammarian, and that is Anna Ilson with that word of the day, chimera. Go ahead, Anna.
Sorry. The grammarian arrives with the word of the day and introduces it when asked by the presiding officer. The word of the day is chimera. The grammarian will note the use of good language, naming the member and the example. Incorrect grammar will be corrected without reference to the member. The best grammar trophy will be presented to the person who uses correct and or lively language during any part of the meeting. And the trophy of the day will be this stapler, this orange stapler.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Madam Toastmaster.
I'm very unhappy that I'm not, in the mood, because I did not use that word correctly. So I won't be winning it today. I know that, but I really want that orange stapler. However, we have another helper, and that is Randolph Bastine. And he's going to share with you during those portions of the meeting what the correct timing is for Toastmasters. Because we have a thing, we don't speak too long and we don't speak too short. We speak just right. And that's because of our timer. But we have a little difference today. Normally we head right into table topics, but today we're going to start with a speech. Yes, we are. And we're going to tell you who is going to help us with that. We're going to start the speech. That is our speaker number 1. He is speaking from Pathways in Visionary Communication at level 3 elective Connect. Oh, I thought it was conning your audience, but no, it's connect with your audience. And our first presenter will provide an introduction to the rules of improvisation. He will follow this with table topics where Toastmasters will have an opportunity to test what they have just heard. Here to present Intro to Improv is distinguished Toastmaster Kip Barkley with Intro to Improv.
Ta-da! Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
There's time and requirements. It's a 5 to 7 speech. So at 5 minutes, you'll get the green light. And at 6 minutes, you'll get the amber. And at 7, I'll just start flashing everywhere. You have a 45-second deviation. And all the best. Back to you, distinguished Toastmaster Kip Broccoli.
Well, thank you. Improvisation. Thank you to Dr. Google. I found the rules of improv from a guy named David Elger of the Pan Theater. Yes, he has a website, pantheater.com, but I'll put my notes in the chat when I'm done. He would like credit when someone like me lifts his material. Now, improv is short for improvisation, and it means to make or fabricate out of what is conveniently on hand. Improvisation can be applied to anything from cooking to music to theater. In theater, improv is all about the interaction between 2 or more players on stage, building from what is at hand into something bigger and, well, entertaining. Improv is considered to be a serious training ground for comics. Well, for example, here, 2 or more players on a stage, they develop a certain rhythm. They tend not to interrupt each other and continue bouncing back and forth the story that they have. Each person builds upon the story. Now, improv is an art. It's also a craft. And as a craft, it's something you learn through practice, trial and error. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. Now, last week, we did a sequential table topic where we had each Toastmaster speaking for 1 minute, and then we would call on another Toastmaster to continue. The ending tended to be a surprise time, next person. So that wasn't a real improv handoff. We're going to work on that today. Now, the 3 rules of improv. The first one is say yes and. You just don't say something, you expand with it. I went to Publix to check out the deli section. I went to the Publix up on Atlantic Avenue, waved at my favorite cashier who really likes my suspenders, and joined the other seniors over at the deli bar. That would be much more information for the next person to work on. The second thing you do, well, you don't drop the ball like a teenager does. You ask a teenager, how was your day? Fine. What did you do? Nothing. Nah, you don't do stuff like that. You keep adding, keep adding. Second one is you play in the present. You're dealing with what is going on right now, what you have said is going on, what you're building. And the third rule is change. The characters are experiencing things. The characters are evolving. So to build a story, the players start with the basic situation and set up a who, what, when, where, and why. Now, looking at this yes and, you don't block, you don't say no, you don't deny anything, because that would be the opposite of yes and. You keep on going and continuing to add information. You avoid asking questions unless there's even more information in the question. And don't limit yourself to words. You can respond with gestures. A lot of ways to respond without words. Now, staying in the present, you're using the moment about the people and the location. You describe the location. It's a picture. Describe, describe. Be specific. Provide colorful details. Improv is what happens right now as the changes occur. Now, the third thing, yes, there's a story going on. The characters are experiencing transformation and change. Scenes are about relationships, not what we do, but what the change made us do. So, okay, to explain how to do this with the table topics, when we move over to table topics, I will start the story off, and then we'll put our screens in gallery view, and then I will call on someone when I'm ready to pass it. I will talk for 1 to 2 minutes watching the lights. And then the next speaker will pick it up and continue the story for at least 1 minute, and then pass it to someone else they see in gallery view. So you remember the yes and. That is how this thing works. It's going to be more complex than what we did last year, but we're up to this. Any questions before my time runs out?
Yes, can we change characters, or do we have to stay in the one person?
Whatever builds and adds, and we'll see if it works. If it crashes and burns, we'll pick it up and keep moving.
I mean, for instance, let me give you, for instance, if I pass it on to Alita, can she take on my personality, or does she have to have her own?
Whatever builds. And we just sit back and see how it works. It's an art. It's an art.
Are you choosing the different speakers?
No, I will choose the first one to follow me. Then that's why we're in gallery view. So the next speaker can see someone and choose them. And it'll just run, and I'll wrap it up when I think we're running out of steam, or suggest a person close the story, end the story, put an ending on this mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you setting the situation?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the first 1 minute when we go to table topics, and you'll have the same lights as usual. Okay, I think I burned up all my time. Question and answer is a great way to burn up lots and lots of time. I see yellow. I'm not out of time yet. Okay, so we're ready for this. So we will, Yeah. We'll end my speech, and then Toastmaster Mary Helen will introduce table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster Barkley, for the introduction to our table topics. And what do you know? You also are our table topic master this morning. So I'm going to let you take control of table topics.
Thank you so much. And I switched to gallery view. I can see all of these wonderful people. Well, I tell you, about the middle of the day, after wife Christine is giving me this tiny, tiny breakfast. Is my mic on? I'm being waved.
No. Timer.
Oh, explain this timing. Yes.
Table topic timing will go on as usual with 1 to 2 minutes with a 30-second deviation. At 1 minute, you'll get the green light. 1 minute and 30 seconds, the amber light. 2 minutes, red lights. And just before your time is up, I'll start flashing everywhere. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I will lead off with the first deal. When I start the story, that's when my timing starts. Well, wife Christine feeds me these tiny breakfasts. She wants to keep me thin, but by lunch, I am getting a little hungry. And I go to my favorite Publix up on Atlantic Boulevard. I go striding in the door, wave at the cashier. Gracie's her name. I know her. She likes my suspenders. It reminds me of her grandfather, of her grandfather. The ladies love suspenders. And then I go over to the deli counter and see what's hot. Why, they have mystery meat and various vegetables and soups and things. And here I will find something that looks good at the moment. And I will make a choice of this, savoring it, looking around. Do we have spoons? And then I march back over to Gracie and say, well, the pensioners, there were several of them over at the deli counter today. I know one of them. I think his name is Fred. I don't think Fred's doing as well as he used to, Gracie. But I'm going to go sit in my car now and enjoy this mystery meat package I have got. Anna.
I sit in the car at lunchtime and I enjoy this mystery meat, which slowly becomes not such a mystery anymore. And what do you know? It's fake turkey. Fake turkey with no salt. But when they remove the salt, I know it's a chimera to think that it's still turkey while I'm eating it. It's become some other strange product, a concoction of all kinds of experiments that they've done with this mystery meat. And it's become the turkey that I dreamed of in my chimera. I eat it nevertheless, because it's now or never, because after that, I have to go run a lot of errands. And I need steam, I need energy to be able to conduct all these errands that I'm supposed to do. Scott.
So as the indigestion starts up, as I begin these errands, I first head to one of my favorite places to shop and return things is the Costco. The Costco is, I think Publix has mistaken their line. It's Costco where shopping is a pleasure, because where else can you go and see all kinds of things that look really cool that you don't really need, but they still look cool. And then there's those carts where they're giving you samples of food. And if you're there on the weekend and you stay there long enough, you can replace this indigestion fake turkey thing that's just sitting in your stomach with delightful, tasteful items that are not healthy for us, but are so good. They might have things with a little piece of a burrito or a little bit of a muffin or a few chunks of cheese. It is just so much fun. And you build up as many of those little cups as you can to show, here's how many of those stops I went to. Toastmaster Alita.
Well, I'm not Scott, but we don't have Costco here. We have Sam's Club, which is the same thing as Costco. I remember Costco. And we have those little tiny things. And this is where I would suggest that Toastmaster Barkley go to fill that empty stomach, because his wife thinks that by giving him just a little bit, that's a good way to maintain his trim weight. But actually, my hot take on that dieting situation is eat all you want when you want. Your body will use up what it needs, and then after a while, you won't even be hungry. And besides, if you go to Costco or Sam's Club, Kip Barkley, you can run up and down the aisles and you can burn up any extra calories that you take on. So that when you get up to the checkout counter and you turn in your stack of 10 or 20 little cups of all that stuff, you know that you have used up all those calories. What do you think, Jim Day?
Well, I don't like the turkey, but at Costco and Sam's Club, you never know what's really there. And you can see Foghorn Leghorn behind me, but he's a different kind of bird who loves to be known and say, "You've exceeded the limitations of my abilities to control myself." When you go back to Costco, Sam's Club, or Publix, is it really turkey? How do you know if it's turkey? Maybe it's tofu in disguise. Usually they add salt to make it taste good. But an alternative, in one of our local areas down here, one of my fellow hog members has shot 68 iguanas in the last week. But that's okay, because it tastes like chicken or like that strange, unknown turkey. Jim Gould.
Well, here in Italy, I can get all the exercise I need going to the local supermarket. It's about a kilometer down the hill. Now, going down the hill to get the mystery meat, and here in Italy, you don't know what those words mean. Now, perhaps Paolo would know what those words are, but you go to the Gala, it is not a Publix, and I don't know that they have Costco's or Sam's Clubs around here, but it is just an amazing way to spend the day. So I just have a backpack, a small day pack that I put on empty. I go down the hill. I find my way using Google Maps and live view, because this place is confusing. Road signs are maybe suggestions in Italy. It's kind of interesting, but I can get down that hill and I can find my way back up because I can always see the castle at the top of the hill. And I can unload my bottles of wine and my mystery meat. I can put it all in our little refrigerator here so that when my wife gets done with her workshop, she'll have something to eat and drink. And it is just such a pleasure to be here. But translation, it can be a real problem, but I have Google Translate to help me. Just point your camera at it and it'll show you what it thinks is the translation in English. It is just so cool. What do you think there, Paolo?
Forget about Casca or Costco, I will say in Italian. There is nothing like a fresh market in Italy. One of those markets they do once a week. My hometown is on Saturday morning, fresh market, with a lot of people with every kind of merchandise, and especially in the food section. Oh, it's an experience like no other. You go through this road with the tables on one side and on the other, and you hear these people screaming, pesce fresco, pommaroli, panno sugo, bella insalata fresche, albicocche, prugne e pesche. Ah, it's not only a delight for your nose, for your eyes, and also melody for your ears to hear all these people screaming these names. Oh my God. And there is every kind of food. The cheese station. Oh, that's my favorite. Hard cheese, soft cheese, mozzarella, burrata, stracciatella. Oh my God, there's nothing like that. Oh, and my kids love it. It's like an event. We go, the entire family. We just love going through the road. It's amazing. It's an experience like no other. Unbelievable. And then you get to taste every kind of stuff. And if you are a tourist, I'm sure Jim Gold experienced that, they're going to treat you even better because you're a star there. You are a star when you go to, hey, Americano, Americano, hey, hey. Did you bring the dollars? Oh, come here, come here. They all can wait for you to taste the stuff and to buy the stuff. But hey, it's still going to be cheaper than what you buy here. It's still going to be more tasty, more delicious than what you get here. So it's definitely worth it. If you ever go to Italy, yes, don't miss one of those fresh markets in a small town. You won't regret it. Back to our guest. That's great.
Oh, I took a hint from our president and I thought, okay, I won't go to Publix tomorrow. I'm going to go to the international market. Now, it's a little bit far. It's probably, now Publix is down the street, so it takes me maybe 10 minutes to go down there. But I thought if I went back to Publix, I would have to be honest and I would need to go back to that deli and just tell them, I really don't know if you know that you're selling something that is not truly meat. Because I go to the fresh market, the international market, and when I walk in, they have meat hanging. They have slices of meat. I can see where it came from. I can smell it. When I'm at Publix, I don't smell anything. I don't smell any cheese. I don't smell any meat. Now, I like my Publix. I like the people at Publix. So maybe I will do them a favor and I will tell them, you're not selling real meat. I don't think you know it. The people who are working there have been given a chimera. They've been thinking all of this time that they're selling real meat. Thank you.
Pam, wrap this story up here.
Well, remember back at the beginning, okay, oh, he's not back. Let's see, actually, I'm Christine. And you know why I give him those little breakfasts? Because he leaves the house. He leaves the house. And guess what I do while he's gone? Oh, I'm not telling you what I do while he's gone. This is being recorded. But it's been going on for years. And he's never figured it out. He thinks he's off and he runs all the errands too. All it takes is a little breakfast. And that's not hard, is it? So while he floats around the universe, I'm left alone to amuse myself in the way that I choose to. And I don't have to have him be there suggesting how to do stuff or all those things that sometimes older gentlemen feel that they need to do. And so I think our marriage will last a long, long time until the day he can't drive. And I don't know what I'm going to do then. Mr. Table Topics.
Thank you so much. Please, Mr. Timer, how did our people do?
Everyone qualified, and I'll give the time and requirements, but really quick, I'm not sure if anyone were able to do the polls, so we may have to vote a little different. Distinguished Toastmaster Kip Barkley with 1 minute and 14 seconds. Toastmaster Anna Ilson with 1 minute and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Scott May with 1 minute and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Alita Richmond with 1 minute and 6 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster Jim Day with 1 minute and 19 seconds. Master Jim Gould with 1 minute and 56 seconds. Toastmaster Paulo Barone with 2 minutes and 24 seconds. And our guest Val with 1 minute and 25 seconds. And Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire with 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Thank you so much. Now back to Mary Helen.
So we vote and send it to whom? To Mary Helen or to Randall?
You can send it to me and I'll
Okay.
tally it up and send it to
Sounds real
the
good.
Toastmaster Mary Helen.
Okay, guys, now we're wiped out and we need more coffee. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. And Toastmaster Bastine will put that on the clock and we'll be back in a moment.
All right.
So this is our local market. It's on Fridays here in Castillon. And it's like a flea market too. There's food, but then there's clothes and there's tchotchkes and electronic stuff. It kind of reminds me of a tiny swap shop, but good food.
I have a question. I know you're at a writer's retreat. Is it the same place each year? I know it didn't happen a couple of years, or does it travel the world?
It has been in Florida, California.
Nice.
The guy that does it and is an old classmate of Chris's has moved to this town in Italy. So he has done it here a few times, but as you say, they stopped it for the COVID. So if you would like to come to this beautiful place and do a writer's workshop, I highly recommend it. The place we're staying is the Residence La Santuce, and it's gorgeous. It's an old convent that was destroyed in World War II and rebuilt by the proprietor's dad, and it's just amazing. So we have a beautiful little spot here. I shared the link to our Google Photos album. You don't have to have Google Photos in order to see it, but it's there. And yeah, check it out.
I have to tell you that your pictures of the rays swimming, I think, dang, I'm going to have to learn to scuba dive and I better get on a sip.
That was amazing.
Just beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Kip, I have a question. So what we did today, how is that different from a sequential table topics? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
You got to choose when you stopped and who you passed it to.
Okay.
So so you had more control.
Okay. Okay.
And with a different theme, who knows what crazy things we'd come up with.
I think it's a cool exercise, really good. But the transition.
Paolo, your audio has gotten very low.
Yeah, you started out just fine, but now it's very low.
How is now?
Same.
It's low? My God. All right, I don't know. I mean, when I did the table topic, it was fine.
Yes, it's up at the end of it. Like something happened at the end of the table topic when you were talking.
You must
It got
have
low.
automatic level.
Oh, okay. So,
And when you start getting excited and hollering at us, I think it lowers the volume on you.
Not good. All right, I'm going to switch to. You can't hear me? Nothing.
Very, very faint. We
Faint.
hear you very faint.
Hold on, let me see. How about now? Nothing.
It's the same.
The same.
No joy.
How about now?
Ah,
Yay.
bueno.
Yay.
Bueno. Molto bene.
And that's, I mean, this is the system, the mic from, I mean, the other one was a good mic. This one is the one from the system. I don't understand why the other one's supposed to be better. But anyway, all right. So it's fine now. Okay.
Yes.
Hey.
Time to-
So if anyone wants, my notes are in the chat. If you can't get them out of the chat, I can email them. Hope this is the start of something.
Thank you, Kip.
All right.
Does Second City still exist in Chicago? That's where everybody from Saturday Night Live came, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It is, yeah. You know, if I had that table topics to do over again, I would bring back the magic carpet. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Great
Mary
tool.
Helen.
Great tool. Yes, I can see
Yeah,
that.
anybody else can do this too sometime.
All right, we're back, guys, and we're back to continue our speeches of the morning, but let our timer reiterate the timing for the rest of our speeches.
For our formal speeches today, they're all 5 to 7 minutes. So I will put on the green light at 5 minutes, and 6 minutes, you'll get the amber light. 7 minutes, you'll have the red light. And just before the 45-second deviation is up, I'll start flashing. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. Our speaker number 2 of the morning is Paulo Baron. Paulo is speaking from Pathways, level 3, Connect with Storytelling. Paulo will give today a speech about his experience competing in both the international and the humorous speech contests. Please welcome mic check. Can you hear me? Toastmaster Paulo Baron.
Mic check. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Are you happy with your camera frame? Yes, I am. Thank you. Can you see the timer? Yes, I can. Thank you. Great. Let's proceed. Contestant number 4, Paolo Barone. Use it like an Italian. Use it like an Italian. Paolo Barone. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, this is usually the exchange between the contest master and the contestant in a virtual speech contest, right before the beginning of the speech. And what goes through your mind, your body, in those few seconds is hard to describe. The adrenaline rush going through your body, in those moments, it's off the charts. Do you remember the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe? The scene at the Colosseum where Spartacus, the gladiator, was standing behind these huge doors, waiting to enter the arena. He could hear the crowd roaring, but he had no idea what was waiting for him behind those doors. Is it going to be lions? Is it going to be the ferocious fighters from North Africa, the barbarians? It didn't matter. Whatever was coming to him, he was ready to fight. In omnia paratus, as they say in Latin. That's how I feel in those moments when I'm about to speak in a virtual speech contest. No matter what's coming my way, I am ready to fight. Last year, around this time, I decided to compete in a speech contest. Not because I thought I was a great speaker or had this amazing speech for a contest. Absolutely not. I simply wanted to push myself to the limit as a Toastmaster. I didn't want to just to get out of my comfort zone. I wanted to jump out of my comfort zone because that's where the growth is. Therefore, I prepared not one, but two speeches. One soared like an eagle for the international speech contest, and the other one used it like an Italian gondola ride for the Euro speech contest. And the adventure began. At the international speech contest, I won in my first club, in my second club, my third club, my fourth club. I was on a roll, and then at the area contest, push, ouch! The eagle hit a wall. Oh, that was hard. At first, I was a little bit disappointed because I believed that I had a decent speech. I had deserved at least one level higher to win the area contest. But then, when I find out who the winner was, because I placed the second in that contest, when I found out who won the contest, I felt a little bit better. He was none other than Geoffrey McAllister, one of the 2017 world finalists and the current winner at district level this year. Think about it. Second after him, he wasn't bad after all. He was actually a badge of honor. At the Euro speech contest, the ride was longer with my gondola. I won club level, area level, I won a division level, and then straight to the podium at the district contest, the final. I didn't win, I placed third. But to me, that was a victory. That was a great achievement, considering where I started. A few days ago, I was talking to a friend of mine who doesn't know anything about Toastmasters. I was telling him all excited about this adventure, this journey, all excited. And then he asked me, Paolo, but what is that you get out of it? What is that you win? Is it money? What do you get? And I told him, it's not what you get. It's what you become doing it. What you become is much more valuable than what you get. It's the transformation into a better Toastmaster, into a better communicator. That's what you get. Once you train to fight an elephant, what is it then to fight a rabbit? Once you give a speech before an audience, before judges, under pressure, contest, after contest, after contest, what is then to give a speech at your club? Or even better, what is then to raise a toast at a wedding or to present your business to a chamber of commerce? Nothing. That's the award, and that's priceless. My fellow Toastmasters, I encourage all of you to compete in a speech contest. What do you have to lose? As Les Brown says, shoot for the moon. If you miss it, you're still going to land among stars. The competition, the real competition, is not between you and another Toastmaster. No, it's between you and you. That's the real competition. It's not about you being better than another Toastmaster. It's about you being a better Toastmaster tomorrow than you are today. That's the prize. And remember, when you do something you've never done, you will get to a place you've never been. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome speech, Toastmaster Barone. But we also have a great speech coming up right now from our speaker number 3, who is Tom Quinn. Tom Quinn is also in Pathways and Dynamic Leadership, Level 2, Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. And so there I was talking about my favorite Supreme Court Justice and what happened to Justice Thomas, Toastmaster Tom Quinn.
So there I was, speaking at our club meeting in Denny's. The purpose of the speech was to research someone that impressed you, gave you some motivation, and give a talk about it. And there I was doing exactly what Paulo suggested, stretching myself, talking about, and I forgot his name. I couldn't think of the man's name. I had cards in my hand. I was told, don't look at the card. So the last thing I'm going to do is talk about this wonderful justice and then look at the card and say and read his name, because that sort of falls flat. But it was a highly embarrassing event for me. I had a brain freeze. I'm sure none of us have ever experienced it quite under those circumstances, but man, I sure did. I fell on my fanny. I couldn't remember his name. I described he was from Georgia. I described he was from Africa American. I described that his first language was Gullah. I described all of that stuff. Fortunately for me, Anna suggested his name, and I was able to sort of insert it into my speech and got done with my talk. Wow, what an event. Becky Joe looked at me at the end of it and said, you know, you might want to do that over again. Do that one over again? There was no way I was going to do that one over again. I wanted to stay away from that like a hotcake. I truly did. But it was part of a process that I've undergone and shared with you as I've gotten a little bit better talking. When people mention the word mentor, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to hear this. Or a protege. Who cares about a protege? God, can we get done with this? Can you tell me a story? Can you enlighten me? Can you inspire me? But without mentors, without Anna, without Becky Joe really sticking it to me by saying, you might want to do this again, without that, I wouldn't be where I am now. A mentor, you just had a great speech from a mentor, Paulo. What, he just laid it out. This is what it's about. And it's not what you do for other people, although that's important to sort of get that input and that gratification. It's how you feel about yourself. Because the only person you can change is you. And the only way that happens is if you take a risk in order to do that. And if you sit back and just want to watch TV or be entertained, that's fine if that gets you through the day. But for me, I think we're not only on a physical journey, but a spiritual journey. And God has given us the gift of this moment to make it as best or not. And it's our choice. I don't care that Becky Joe didn't like my speech, although it did influence me. What's important is how I felt, how I feel about it, and what risks I'm able to take And can I grow where I'm planted? Can I become the person I'm meant to be? Or do I sit back in a sense of self-pity, regret, and grudge? This is what Toastmasters has done for me. Mentoring, I can't really say is a good thing or not. I think we all mentor each other. I think we're all proteges. We never stop learning. If you stop learning, you stop living, in my opinion. And what fun is that, to stop learning? And what fun is it to not help other people, because it sort of helps you grow in your position, your sphere of purpose. So that's my story about mentoring. It makes sense to me. I hope it makes some sense to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Quinn. Now be sure that you write little notes in the chat to our speakers this morning, Toastmaster Barkley, Toastmaster Barone, and Toastmaster Quinn. We all appreciate these little abbreviated messages of appreciation and suggestions of improvement. Our timer, how did our speakers do this morning with their timing on their speeches? Toastmaster Bastine.
Okay, timing. We did not all make it today. Toastmaster distinguished Toastmaster Kip Barkley with a time of 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Paolo Baroni just making it with 7 minutes and 40 seconds. And Toastmaster Tom Quinn with 4 minutes and 43 seconds.
All right, I believe that Toastmaster Barone went over time, Toastmaster Bastine. Anything
What
after
kind of-
7:30 is considered overtime.
It's, oh, okay, yes, it's a 30-second deviation. Sorry, that's, where's, oh, the 45 deviation is on table topics. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so we will vote for best.
Qualified. Tom
quali-
and Kip.
Yes, the qualifiers are Tom and Kip.
No, Tom, also,
I'm
he
short.
was under, he was short.
No, but he was within the 30-second deviation at the beginning of the, oh, it was 5 to 7, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he was within the 30-second deviation at the beginning. So
Okay.
he qualifies.
Okay,
Okay. So we'll vote for Toastmaster Barkley and Toastmaster Quinn. We do have polls up there thanks to one of our geeks. Oh my goodness, so glad to have you here. All right. And now we're going into our evaluation section. Our general evaluator this morning is also the person that just helped us with those polls. That is Toastmaster Jim Gould.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, the purpose of evaluations, and I think it's the most importante meeting, the most important part of the meeting, because we get to something that no other group seems to do, and that is evaluations, where we use an Oreo cookie approach, you know, a little bit of good stuff and maybe some constructive criticism, and then maybe something that ended up really well to wrap it all up. We have 3 speakers and 3 evaluators today, and we have timing requirements for those speeches. Toastmaster Bastine, let us know what those requirements are.
timing requirements for evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes with a 30-second deviation. I will put on the green light at 2 minutes, and with 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the amber light, and 3 minutes, the red light, and shortly after I'll start flashing. Thank you. Back to you.
Flashing the colors, I hope. Thank you. Bastine.
Oh, my God.
Hey, calm down over there.
Oh, my Lord.
Evaluating our first speaker in this kind of mixed up day, our speaker was distinguished Toastmaster Kip Barkley, and evaluating Toastmaster Barkley is Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. And thank you, Kip Barkley, For years, I was a subscriber to the Miami City Ballet, and I highly recommend it because there you can see a ballerina standing on her toe for more than you'd like to think about it, and then she gracefully lifts her leg in the air and holds it. And then she turns around. She has a cavalier sort of standing next to her, but she's doing the work. I suspect not one person in the audience goes, dang, I could do that. But yet, when we see people doing improv, I bet a lot of us go, dang, I could do that. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? Turns out, hard. And this morning, Toastmaster Barkley ran us through the rules of improv. I didn't even know there were rules to improv. I thought you could just get up there and improv. It turns out, not unlike being a ballerina or any other artist, you have to work at it. So how did Mr. Barkley do on his speech? Well, I'm going to be harsh because you're an old timer. You've had plenty of practice. Now, I thought you were going to do an improv. I did not realize you were doing a speech. You're doing a speech about improv. Got it. And I appreciated at the beginning that you needed to read a definition because, like Toastmaster Quinn told us, sometimes our minds go blank. Heck, I've gotten up there where I can't even remember my own name, much less who I'm talking about. So if you're doing a definition or you're doing a quote, read it or be ready to read it just in case. But don't read the rest of your speech. And I know you were because I saw the paper moving and I heard the paper moving. You know this stuff. May not do improv, although I think so, but you also know how to construct a speech. So if you're going to give us 3 rules, give us the 3 rules, expand on the 3 rules, recite the 3 rules again. We might get it, but you really like the yes and part, and the other parts we didn't get as much of. Number 2, what do improv people do? They tell stories. And I was hoping for some examples. For example, how to do it, because just knowing the rules, I still need the story to remember it. I know you can do better. I agree with Becky Jo Beam. You should do the speech again. You should have it memorized. You should practice it. And you should throw some stories in. You got plenty of time. 5 to 7 minutes really means 7.5 minutes. You can do it. I look forward to hearing it. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Scrimshire, with a wonderful evaluation. Now, evaluating our second speaker, Paolo Borone, is Toastmaster Scott May.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially Toastmaster Paolo Borone. Thank you for an engaging, motivating speech. This speech is out of Pathways, Presentation Mastery Level 3, Connect with Storytelling. So he's asked to tell a story, create a story, share it with us. That can be any type of story at all. And I think he met that requirement. I was pulled in from the beginning knowing I would evaluate the speech by seeing the title. I found it very intriguing. Mic check, can you hear me? I figured it had something to do with speaking. I was interested, intrigued, and he did not disappoint. I thought you started really well right out of the gate, engaging us with a conversation with the contest master, what that's like, because not everyone on this screen here today has been in a contest, especially a contest outside of just our own club. And then you shared the speech intro and title. So you engaged us first and then told us what it was going to be about. I found that to be very strong. So many things to love about the speech: the body language, the hands, the arms, the upper body, the eyes, the movement, the gondola rowing. Oh my gosh. Your body language tells the story. In fact, we could put it on mute and still be engaged for the entire speech. Your pauses, voice inflection, keep us interested, glued to the screen. And you had a very effective analogy where you painted a picture of how you felt going into the speech, like Russell Crowe as the gladiator behind the door of the mighty Colosseum. You made the speech personal. It was about you jumping out of your comfort zone. And you made it relatable because all of us are doing speeches here. And you shared with us that it's not just what you get, that the prize is transforming yourself, a better you. As far as areas for improvement, oh, I have to look far and deep and hard to find any minuscule areas for improvement. The most obvious though, you went slightly long. And I give it up to Toastmaster Bastine, who was flashing those cards, red, yellow, green, with the alert going on the screen to help let you know that. But hey, you only missed by 10 seconds. And the only other tiny thing, you have a gorgeous smile. I'd love to see it a little bit more. Overall, I mean, truly an excellent speech. You continue to show us how speeches can be larger and bolder and exciting. And you motivate all of us by showing us how it's done and by making it fun. Simply superb. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster May. That wonderful evaluation. And you're so right about Italians when they speak. You can be here in Italy and walking down the street and watching somebody on the phone, and they are all over the place with the hands, and you kind of know what the other side is doing. It's a wonderful thing. So, Toastmaster Tom Quinn's speech today is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Alita Richmond. Take it away, Alita.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and particularly the actor, Tom Quinn. Tom, what a wonderful speech you gave this morning. It was so interesting. With only a few freeze frames from on my side, I didn't miss an awful lot. It was a well-organized presentation where you took a trip back in time and you were enthusiastic about your presentation and your story about a prior mentor. See, I'm freeze framed. In any calling this your appearance is very good. Your camera framing is good. The only thing, there is still a slight reflection on from your eyeglasses, but not too bad. Strong and clear, and you use words that are easily understood. Your vocal variety. Now, here's one thing. Even though your voice is strong and clear, I would encourage you to experiment with a little bit of enhancement on your vocal variety, either by the speed, the tone, changing the loudness, softness of it. Your gestures, you use some very good gestures, which is not always easy to do in the Zoom box, but I would suggest that you use fewer hand gestures right up there, you know, because they tend to be overdone and you miss the effectiveness. Let me see here. I want to just end with this. I loved how you wrapped up your presentation with this question, self-question. Can I grow where I am planted and become what I am meant to be? Great job, Tom. Thank you. I will send you your formal written evaluation. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond, for that choppy sound. Not your fault. we are all having some issues today with bandwidth, and it might not be us. It could be Zoom, just so you know. Okay, Toastmaster Bastine, how did our evaluators do for time?
All evaluators qualify. Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire with 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Toastmaster Scott May with 3 minutes and 1 second. Toastmaster Alita Richmond with 2 minutes and 47 seconds. That's the timing report. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, there we go with the polls. Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. And now it is my pleasure to evaluate the entire meeting. As usual, our wonderful Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Bastine, got us started as it should be, reminding everybody to mute, and we get into our meeting. That worked well. The grammarian kind of lost her way and couldn't put her word of the day up, but Toastmaster Barkley jumped right in and grabbed that. The chimera of this meeting was up there. That worked well. I have some other people in here. Speaking of the grammarian, Toastmaster Anna Ilsen, do you have a report for us? Unmute there.
Mr. General Evaluator, we had some nice language today. Toastmaster Scott May, Costco, where shopping is a pleasure, borrowing the motto from the other competitor. Toastmaster Alita, go to Sam's Club. It's the same as Costco. Toastmaster Jim Day, tofu in disguise. And shot 68 iguanas, and they taste like chicken. Toastmaster Jim Gould, in Italy, you backpack down the hill, but road signs are only suggestions. Toastmaster Paolo Barone, forget Costco. Go to the fresh market in Italy. Pesce fresco, insalata fresca. It's a family event. Guest Gival, nothing smells in Publix. She's going to go to the international market. Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire floats around the universe. Toastmaster Paolo Barone, the adrenaline rush is off the charts. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you still land in the stars. Toastmaster Tom Quinn suffered a brain freeze, and he grows where he's planted. And that's it. The grammarian award goes to, let's see, Toastmaster Jim Gould.
Hey, thank you, Toastmaster Anna Ilsen. I'll be looking for that. What was it? A ketchup bottle or something? Okay, and we had a knock counter today. Toastmaster Scott May. What'd you hear?
Not too many today. Wonderful. I did hear one from Toastmaster Anna Ilsen, an from Toastmaster Jim Gould, and one double clutch, and Toastmaster Bastine with a couple of ahs and a double clutch. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster May. Okay, I already did my evaluation of the entire meeting, so it was a good meeting, and I believe that our challenges are not due to our individual connections all the time, although Toastmaster Richmond is kind of hitting the satellites pretty hard. Not a bad thing. Well, there she goes. All right, then. I will give control back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mary Helen Day.
Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Gould. And I'm going to fight you for that red stapler that Toastmaster Ilsen has. She's giving it away, but you're in Italy and I can probably get to it quicker than you can. Hey, Val Cray, we want you to be a member of our club. You have already proved you do a decent table topic. And I just want to say this. I hope Toastmaster Baron's speech today inspired you to become a Toastmaster, because the biggest fear anyone has in coming in this club is, how can I talk as well as everybody here? Well, everyone here started out exactly in your spot, asking the same question. How can I do the same thing as everyone else is doing? So you can do it, be inspired, join us, and take yourself to the next level in Toastmasters with us. So we had some winners today, but listen, everyone here is a winner, and let's admit to it. Our table topic winner today is Toastmaster Paula Baron. Our best evaluator today is Toastmaster Scott May. And our best speaker of the day is Toastmaster Tom Quinn. So yes, those of you who participated or spoke, we are all winners just because we did it and we got up there and we tried to do it. Thank you, Toastmaster Baron. We all needed a kick in the boot for all of us to do a little bit more in Toastmasters and in the rest of our lives. So with that, I'm going to return control of the meeting to our president, Toastmaster Paula Baron.
Thank you, DTM Day. Thank you for conducting this train magnificent. I hate that word. I can't say. Beautifully conducted this train. All right. Let's see. Do we have any member comments?
I just want to say thank you to distinguished Toastmaster Mary Helen Day for, it's crazy. I didn't really realize about the deviation. I never really put it together about it could be before or after. I always only thought about it being after. So I appreciate that. Thank you for chiming in.
All right. And to our guest, Val, yes, come back, visit us again, join. Nobody here started as a great speaker. We all joined Toastmasters because we weren't good speakers or good communicators. In my case, I couldn't say a word. And English is my second language. I'm still working on my English. It's always a struggle because you think one language, you speak another language. It's always a fight in my mind. But this is the place to improve, the place to try. It's a lab. So nobody joins Toastmasters because he's already a great speaker. No, everybody joins Toastmasters because they want to become great speakers and great communicators. We all started where you are right now, at this stage. So join us. This is the best thing you can do to yourself. A communication, to be able to communicate effectively, is really the only asset that you need in life. Because when you are able to express yourself effectively, nothing is impossible. So come back and visit us again, and hopefully we would like to see you as a member. Please share your feelings about it with us, if you might.
Thank you. How does one join?
Oh, send a check.
I will send you the application. We use PayPal for paying money. It's easier, but we know how to do checks, or our treasurer does. So dues, right now we're running the COVID special of $45 every 6 months and $20 for a first time initiation. And you fill out a form, you put on your personal information, and I fill out the rest. So yeah, I'll send this to you.
It's a simple process.
Literature.
Right. We are so happy